Dude. Craft Brews and Casual Conversations, joined with me, the host of Inebriated Input. It's Jennifer and Kim. Welcome to the program.
Woot. Hi. Hello.
Thanks for coming on. I'm excited to talk to you. I was excited to be a guest on your show. That episode is out. Now you can listen to it.
That was a lot of fun. It's out tomorrow.
Comes out, yeah. Well, when people are hearing this, it's out.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. It's part of the time continuum.
Yes.
In the future, in the past.
And I was honored to be the first guy on the program. Unfortunately, you are not the first ladies. Maybe the first lady podcasters to have on the show. Maybe I think so. But we'll talk about all that stuff in a little bit. But when I was on, we talked a little bit about drinking. We're all drinking right now. I think. Jen, are you drinking? You got something?
Cheers.
There it is. I'm drinking.
Cheers.
I got this beer from Toppling Goliath from Iowa, which is one of my favorite breweries. I've never been there. I'd like to go there, but it's a morning latte. It's called. It's a Imperial Coffee Stout. It's got lactose in it. Mm-hmm. And then we talked a little bit about drinking hard liquor on the episode that I was on for your show. And oddly enough, the guy at the counter at Festival Foods, I don't know if you have one of those, but he gave me one of these fancy new Jägermeister cold brew coffee samples for free. So I figured in honor of you being on the show, I said I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to hard liquor. But I'm not gonna drink the whole thing. It's a couple ounces, but let's see how it goes.
Oh, I hate Jaeger.
Tastes like coffee with Jaeger.
Oh God.
Woo-wee.
That doesn't sound like a good combination to me.
It's an herbal liqueur, it says, made with...
herbal. Oh, so it's healthy.
Yeah. Made with coffee and a hint of cocoa in it. It still burns. It still burns. Oh, my God. That's disgusting. What do you guys got?
Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah. Cool. So I am drinking a Neapolitan milk stout, which I had actually switched to on Saturday. I haven't had a chance to go get anything new.
Looks oddly familiar. I think
it's from Saugatuck Brewery in Michigan.
Okay.
And it's a milk stout. It says its slogan is 3 bites in every sip. It says it's a creamy milk stout with all the brilliant flavors of Neapolitan ice cream in one glass. And it's true. Like, I can taste vanilla and chocolate and strawberry, which is so strange, but it's delicious. It's one of my favorite beers, and we just recently found it here in Colorado. So nice. I was pretty excited when I saw it.
Oddly enough, I have the milk stout as well. So we're look at that. Jennifer,
I'm gonna be the one offer.
Oh,
I'm gonna be the one offer. I've got a brewery down the street from me called Arcadia, which actually just went out of business.
What?
But they were bought up. Yeah. Arcadia is out of business.
That's a bummer.
But they were bought
You
up
heard
by
it here
Shorts.
first.
Breaking news.
Well, in June. But okay.
I hadn't heard
bought
it yet.
out by Shorts. So Shorts is actually still doing most of their
Okay.
So they're not gone. But I just walked down, and because I can do that because I'm a city girl. I just walked down and filled a growler. Nice. With their one of their seasonal brews called what was it called again? I had to take a picture of it because my memory is like.
This is where the Untapped app comes into play. This is why you gotta get that.
Yeah, it's a Marzen Attacks, Marzen, based on Mars Attacks.
Sounds so familiar.
It is an Oktoberfest beer.
All right.
So it's like a malt balance of clean hop bitterness, toasted bread or biscuit like malt aroma. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It was one of their highest ABCs or whatever.
The ABCs, the ABVs?
Yes.
Yeah, ABCs, which is usually what tempts me to get it. So
awesome. Yeah, it looks good. Well,
yeah,
thanks.
Nice and brewery.
I'm glad we have a plethora of beer flowing right now because that's what we like to do. So you host this podcast, Inebriated Input. Give me a little bit of the history of it, why you decided to start it, and I mean, in a world of everybody has a podcast, like myself, why start one?
We were bored. No.
Yeah.
Kimberly had an idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I had the idea for a while, and then like another friend of mine was like, I'm starting a podcast, and like just did it, and I was like,
Yeah.
shit, I can just do that. Like I like, and so I was like reached out to Jennifer to be like, hey, do you want to do this with me? And she was like, yes, let's do it. So really that's how it started. It was like just that simple.
Well, my favorite part is that you reached out to other people like, hey, I want to do this podcast, and other people like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, and then you sent me a text and was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, everyone was like, that sounds like it's so fun, but nobody like would really commit to
Right.
it. And Jennifer was just like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's really what happened. And really we like started like right from there. I had already, I think even before I asked you if you wanted to do it with me, I had come up with the name and had told you about it because I thought, because I'd asked somebody else, and you helped me come up with the tagline before you were even like part of it. And
that
then
was
I was
my birthday
like,
in December. We were
was
coming
it
up
that
with
long
names.
ago?
I'm like, I don't like, yeah, I think you had something about I'm corked, and I'm like, nah, yeah.
Well, it was like,
So I name things. That's all I do.
yeah, it was like advice, because there's that old, like the saying, like advice from the mouths of babes. So I was like advice from the mouths of bottles, and then Jennifer added the uncorked, so it's like uncorked from the mouths of bottles. And so like I had reached out to you for that, and then I just ended up being like, hey, do you want to do this with me? And she's like, yes. And then we just hit the ground running pretty much.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, our first episode, we've learned a lot in the last couple of months.
Oh.
But our first episode, we got really drunk, and no one will probably ever hear anything from that first recording. That is, not the first episode, but the first recording.
Right.
It ended with my MacBook being broken, so and I don't
forgot
remember
about
that happening.
I forgot about that. You fixed it, but yeah, she like spilled a bottle of wine on her computer or something, and woke up the next day and was like, it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, geez.
No, I don't remember.
That's kind of how the process goes. I did have a podcast before this, like fucking a long time ago. I want to say like probably almost 10 years ago already. But I did like I made like the 7-episode itch or whatever they say, the stretch where the average podcast only lasts about 8 episodes, and that's where it died. Yeah, congratulations. And then I did this too. I used to be in radio full time, and I really missed it, and I kind of started this up. I got the idea, so you guys discussed the name and everything like that. I kind of ripped mine off of Jerry Seinfeld's comedians in cars getting coffee. I figured I'm from Wisconsin. I like to drink beer. So like I'm not a comedian. I'm a dude. There we go, dude. And then we have the brew, the beer part. Now where can we have these? On the porch. Even though
it's like a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
It's a podcast Mad Lib.
Pretty much. So where did what drives you to give advice? Like why do you want to help people out that way with a little bit of liquid courage added to it?
I just like giving advice personally. I love advice columns. I read a lot of advice columns on the daily when I can. The ones that are free, I'll be honest. Yeah. And I just thought it seemed, I don't know. I always I feel like I give good advice. My favorite was when I was giving my coworkers advice, and they'd be like talking about their kids. And I was like, caveat, I don't have children, but here, take it or leave it. But here's what I think. They're like, thanks.
And parents love that. Parents love that.
I mean, I will say she was asking for advice, and I think I did give some good advice there. But that's why I give advice, because I think I give good advice.
Awesome.
How about you, Jen?
It was just fun. I thought it would be fun, and I could be jokey and say hopefully funny things and be entertaining. And I also love advice columns, and I love the stories behind the advice, and I like to hear about other people's lives.
It's like gossip
especially
corner.
now, stuck here. Yeah, there's sort of like something gossipy, something salacious sometimes. So it's all around fun.
Yeah, I used to be, I don't know if I am now anymore, but I used to be the guy that people kind of went to for advice for whatever reason. And I'm not the type of person that you wanted to get advice from, because I was a parent in high school. My daughter has seen me graduate high school, and then she saw me graduate college the first time. Hopefully she'll see me graduate the second time once that happens. But why would you want advice from me? I clearly made a poor. I didn't make a poor choice. Wasn't thinking with the right head, if you know what I mean. And but I don't know. It's always been weird that people have kind of leaned towards me to advice. Maybe it's because they're like, oh, this guy has seen some shit. He's been through some stuff.
Yeah,
he's got some life. He's got some life behind him. He's
life experience for the way.
They look into those eyes and they're like, those are dead eyes. Those eyes, I know something.
Sometimes, yeah. I would say my soul has escaped me a time or two. So
those are the eyes of a 17-year-old wld who was up at 2:00 in the morning with their kid.
That's right. It was weird. I mean, those were weird times. But now it's great. I mean, once my daughter's 18, I'll only be 36, so it's not too bad, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 6-year-old too, but yeah.
I have a friend who had a kid in high school, and that's the thing. She's like, I'm gonna be done with the kids by the time I hit 40. Like, they're all gonna be graduated. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I do look forward to that, but I'm also I'm gonna be getting married in January, and my fiance. Oh, thank you. Second marriage. But my fiance does not have children, so she's taken in two. Bless her soul, and she wants one. So I'm gonna be both the young dad and the mid-range dad, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, and no, I'm not gonna say.
So you're gonna have a kid.
I was gonna say, don't rule out the old dad too. You don't know what could happen in the future. Then, like, never mind. I don't want to jinx anybody like that. But then I started and I couldn't stop. So
as soon as we have another kid, I'm cutting the cords and then I'm cutting my balls off.
Smart.
I think you can keep the balls.
Oh yeah,
maybe in a jar.
I think it's a really easy surgery for men. I think you're good to go.
Yeah.
I've heard. Yeah. Definitely better for a man to do it than a woman to get that invasive stuff done.
Oh, and much more available for men.
Oh, for sure.
Than for women.
Yeah, it's insane. Men have all the privileges. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys were making all the rules while we were.
In the
kitchen. So.
We were.
That's really why.
Like, God damn it.
Yeah. The times are changing though, and I'm hopeful for the future. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially since you have a daughter. I mean, yeah, you just want a better future for her. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I like having a daughter. I have a son too, but I was very excited when I found out I was having a girl for whatever reason. I just felt like I don't know if I'm ready for another one of me or something like that. But now I have one and he's great. But he's a little spitfire. But Kim, you were saying that you do a little bit of improv before. Tell me about that.
So I'm involved in the improv scene here in Denver. I started, 3 years ago or something like that. I basically started because I like theater and I do a lot of musical theater and stuff like that. And when I first moved here, I didn't have any friends and I wasn't really having a lot of luck with auditioning. And so one of my coworkers was like, I'm involved with this improv theater and you should come. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm not interested in improv, but I'm going to go because it'll make my cold reading skills better at auditions and I will maybe meet people. And here I am involved in a couple different groups. And so I do musical improv is my big one right now, where we like improvise a musical from start to finish. We get a suggestion for a title of a musical and then we make it all up. And we have like an accompaniment and they make up the music as they go and we sing along with it.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Rob and I talk a lot about stand-up comedy and how even like in a podcast form it can be it can be some improv.
Right.
Even though we've acknowledged we suck at the yes anding. We like to give firm no's.
That's the core rule. It's the
I know.
most important rule.
I know. Rob has done some stand-up. I really want to try it. I'm not confident that I'm funny enough. But I say some funny shit sometimes. I make a lot of people laugh kind of the spur of the moment. So maybe someday I'll give it a shot.
I will say a lot of theaters right now, it's like I know one right here in Denver are doing digital classes.
Oh yeah.
So it's even less like on the spot because you're not like in the room. But I
Right.
will say that's a good thing about like the in the room classes is that like especially for improv, I'm like I can be super self-conscious and I guess I really care what people think about me. I don't know why. I read you should go to therapy for that and I haven't yet. But so the best thing about like improv classes is that everyone else is making as much of an ass of themselves as you are and you're just supporting each other and like there for it, you know,
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
awesome.
great.
That's awesome. Have you?
Yeah, you shouldn't go into some other class and start doing improv.
Yeah.
They won't. The math students
get
won't
it.
really understand that. They'll judge you.
How's so with starting the podcast and everything? How's the podcast community treating you? Pretty well. Have you gotten
I
some
think
support?
so.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We're all kind of in the same boat, so we're all kind of like,
Right.
if they want help, we want help. So it's been really nice, actually.
Yeah, we've done some like promo trades. Like that's how we met you. Like
Right.
I reached out to see if you want to do a promo trade, and then like this is our second like guest on a podcast, and like having them on ours and being on theirs. And the other one was the same way, where they were just like, "Yeah, we'll do a promo trade, and do you want to like do a guest spot too?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, we do!" Like
Yeah, for sure. I still haven't done my promo. I'm too lazy.
It's okay. I mean. You wouldn't want it on the same episode you were going to be on because that would be weird. Like, listen to Bruce and Dudes, and then we're like, here he is from the.
Yeah, you want to spread the love. You want it over. At least get 2 episodes of advertisement.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep saying that I'm gonna do it, but then I probably won't.
That's okay.
My time is very valuable. I don't have much of it, unfortunately. I wish I had more. It just sucks.
Well, we pre-recorded one that we just hand out to people.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I need to do. I just lazy. So it happens. But and then a lot of people don't realize that podcasting is it's kind of a discipline. You have to really, and I suck at scheduling so much. Rob will be like, when do you want to record? And I'll be like, oh, let's record on Tuesday. And then it's like, oh shit, got something to do. Let's push it to Wednesday, and then oh man, can't do that either. Like I feel really, Rob probably gets very annoyed with me, because I'm constantly changing it, and it's just my life sometimes is a little bit in shambles. Even in the world of COVID, I think I'm busier than I have been in years, with work and everything. How have you guys been doing with that stuff?
I'm privileged enough to be able to stay home and work from home. Yeah. I work with prospective students and talking about going to school and stuff like that. So, but it's just, I need to be interacting with people face to face. I'm having a difficult time just staying sane in my house for days on end, weeks on end, months on end. But yeah, it's okay.
I'm in the same boat. I'm a super extroverted person, and
I hadn't noticed, Kim. I hadn't figured that out. Yeah, no.
I mean, I try to keep it hidden. Like I thought I was doing so well, but so I'm the same way. That like I'm lucky enough that I'm also still working. I'm a graphic designer, so I can work remotely. And my whole company has gone remote. And then they just emailed and they're like, we're not going to open the office officially until like January. I'm like, awesome. Like if you told me a year ago I was gonna have to work from home for 9 months, I would be like, I'm gonna straight up lose my mind. Like I've done that before, like worked from home for shorter periods of time and like been like super depressed from it. So I'm handling this surprisingly well.
How is it in Colorado?
I honestly think that everything. So I've like taken a step back from the like tracking it. When I was first starting, I was like on NPR every single day, on Colorado looking. I'm like, I can't do that. But like most of the things have opened to an extent.
Sure.
There's still like I just joined a gym that Pure Barre classes, and they're like, we have a half capacity. We have like spaces taped out. you can't move beyond your space. But like restaurants have opened and things like that.
Okay.
But who knows what's coming up.
Wisconsin's the epicenter of the country. We're doing poorly. There's a lot of shitty people, and there's a wonderful state full of beer and cheese, and and a handful of assholes that ruin it for everybody. And it's it is a bummer. It really is. But
I mean, Michigan has had some of that too, right?
No, we're perfect. No, we're perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, people didn't. There wasn't just recently a group of people who were trying to kidnap our governor.
Oh yeah,
and then execute her. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy, huh?
No. Yeah, right. Yeah,
wild.
The signs that say "get rid of Gretch" or whatever, and
yeah, keep that shit in Florida.
Yeah, no, people. It's really just a small percentage of people, but they're so mean. They they look bigger, and so they're just so angry with the world. I can't even imagine.
It just takes up so much.
Apparently I can. It exists.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You don't need to imagine it. It's there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like these people who are like such dicks are so loud, like you're saying. Like it's just you try to surround yourself with positivity and stuff, but it just for whatever reason, all these people are just yelling, screaming, all this crazy stuff is always happening. Yeah. And thankfully that's why we drink beer.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
What other obstacles have you had while recording the podcast? Like in regards to drinking, have you drinking too much, or have you found the sweet spot? Are we taking shots
the first
beforehand?
4 months. So we used to record every 2 weeks. We'd do like a full episode recording where we'd do 3 questions, and it'd be like 4 hours of recording time.
Yeah.
That we'd record. So we'd be drunk talking to each other, and we just get drunker and drunker through the episode. Like you can't hear us in the last couple of questions because we'd be slurring everything.
Sure.
There's one episode where I got the hiccups and I couldn't. They were so loud. They were like a bark, like a dog barking. I couldn't.
And I was so frustrated the whole time. She would hiccup and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, Jennifer, stop hiccuping. It was like, now I'm getting mean apparently.
That's the worst. Whenever I get hiccups,
learned...
I can't stop.
Right. And they were like really like beastly hiccups. They weren't the cute little hiccup. They were like, bleh.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
Oh, yeah.
So we've learned to record more questions in one sitting and do like a soft front record. So a soft intro recording like every other week or so. So we don't get as drunk as often.
Well, that's good.
Probably good for us.
So we've learned that. It took us 3 months to figure that out. Though.
We said we had recorded that one episode that we got like both of us just got hammered, and Jennifer broke
there was
her
vodka
computer.
Involved.
Yeah, it was bad. You were drinking Manhattans, and then I don't know what I was drinking, but the only reason I remember that is because we, like, for Patreon subscribers, we give them an illustrated cocktail card, and that's the one that we just sent out with Manhattans. Yeah. But I don't remember what you were drinking 8 months ago, except for that. But so then, like, the next one we recorded, we were much more tame, and then we got feedback from people, like friends that were like, you need to be drunker. And then we took that a little bit too much to heart. And now we're trying to rein it back. And I discovered that like 2 cocktails and then switching to like White Claw or something like that is like the best choice. Otherwise, I will keep drinking a bottle of vodka until it's halfway gone.
Ugh.
Which isn't good.
Yeah.
More power to you. Yeah. I can't do that at all.
That was fun.
Ugh.
I've recently have given in to the seltzer stuff. I do like them. I was bashing them for a little bit, but now I've had a kind of a vast variety of them, and I'm into them. They're low cal, low carbs, you know, like for a person that's trying to be trimmer, I guess. That's the way to go.
Be trimmer and still drink? Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit incorporated. My fiance and her friend do segments on the show, Seltzer Saturday. There's only been one.
I saw that one. I listened to it.
There's been one so far. And, we played a fun game that I made up. I enjoyed it. But
but you were giving them. Did I do this drunk or did I do it when I was a child? Right?
Yeah, drunk or kid. That was the first round. It's a fun game. It's a fun game because a lot of times you don't know if you were a
True.
drunk or a kid.
I mean, drunk people are basically big, like full-size
All right.
toddlers.
Yeah. You got that right. I have some good stories about people that I wish they were kids because I was like, oh boy, this is horrible. But yeah, I think I've only been really drunk on a couple of the episodes that I've done that I can recall. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you what we talked about on our first episode, but I know there's been at least 2 episodes where we've did when I was at a beer festival all day, and then we recorded afterwards.
Oh.
And one of them was the Flat Earth episode, which is actually really funny. And then we didn't do one last year because I puked in my front yard. So it was bad. But I don't know. I really like the craft brew stuff. I mean, I grew up in high school, of course, drinking Bud Light and all that kind of stuff, and being in Wisconsin, everyone drinks Miller. But the craft beer, I love it very much, and sometimes I love it a little bit too much. Do you see a huge craft scene where you're at too? Michigan, I know, has a pretty big one.
Yeah, for sure.
Colorado too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
We also have the Coors factory near us, but
oh really?
we've never been. We only buy craft beer. My husband watched a documentary about like the big conglomerates and what they did to like disenfranchise craft beers, especially like right after prohibition and everything. And he was like, we're not giving them any more money. So we don't, I mean, not that we really drank Bud Light regularly before that, but we don't really drink that anymore.
Good. That's right. Fuck them. Fuck the man.
Yeah.
Bringing them down. Yeah, I like.
I so love that there's so many microbrews out there now, and I love it. I love it. When we were growing up, I could only get Miller.
Yeah.
Not that I drank a lot when I was growing up.
Don't lie. You were like, no.
I was smuggling Mike's Hard Lemonade back in the day.
Oh
Yes. My mom bought that one for me. Yeah. She still buys it.
Mike had a margarita that was really good.
I remember that. You would be like, yeah, I like this one. You're like, and so I started drinking that one too. That wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Mike's Hard Margarita.
She will still buy that every once in a while when I go home. Like I bought a thing of Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'm like, great, Mom. Great. So I can drink like 8 of these and be fine. And also they're so sweet. So sweet.
Yeah, they give you like the gut rot, and it's it's disgusting, that kind of stuff. And to think I used to kind of like live off that stuff back in the day. And it was, how old were you when you first had your first drink?
I was 18.
Okay.
Like officially, like really drinking, or like, oh, when you're little, my dad was like, here, you can have a sip.
No, like what do you have, like your first like full beverage?
Probably 18 when I was in Germany, so it was legal there.
Okay.
And then I just kept drinking when I came back.
Yeah.
My parents were like, as long as you're here and safe, we don't care. So.
Yeah.
I was pretty young. I think I remember being like a child, being left alone with alcohol. My parents went to bed. I think it was like a carrot wine that my dad had made.
Carrot wine?
I didn't know. Like a carrot wine, yes.
That
my dad had made. Yeah. Yeah,
Ugh.
I was like 8, I think.
8?
And then 8. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then I vowed on that night never to drink again. And then
you were hungover the next day over your frosted flakes.
And then I broke that vow when I was 13, and it was New Year's, and my parents left me alone with the champagne, and I drank the last of the champagne, and then I didn't drink for another 8 years. So.
You're a wild child.
I remember that story, but I didn't know the carrot wine story.
Oh yeah, no, that one came back to me a while ago.
Okay.
Because I remember I tripped over my rocking horse.
God, that's awful and hilarious.
Yeah, so I don't have a drinking problem.
Yeah. I don't have a problem drinking either. I think I was probably like 13 or 14. My dad had given me a Smirnoff ice or whatever, or like one of those the apple ones.
Yeah.
And I had it, and he had one of those, like those inflatable pools that everybody has in their backyard, at least in the Midwest. I feel like they do. He had one of those, and I was like just swimming, chilling, and my dad's like, "Are you all right?" Like, he could tell I was feeling it from just one. That was the first time I had ever had one of those, and he's just like, I thought I probably shouldn't have given you that. And I'm like, Dad, I was so innocent. And I was like, I'll remember everything. I'm not drunk. Like, and now, yeah, same thing. I still don't forget. I remember everything. Therefore, I'm not drunk.
I do usually when I drink liquor, but when I drink beer, I forget quicker. I know that's not how it's supposed to work, but that's how it works for me usually. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll be right back. I have a pork shoulder on the smoker and I need to pull it off. I was waiting for my husband to get home because we're out of foil, but he's still not here and it hit temp a while ago and I'm afraid of overcooking it.
Yeah, go.
So I'll be right back.
Go do it.
Yeah, don't let that dry out.
So you're in Michigan right now then?
Yeah.
And this is originally where you're from?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I grew up in the country, but I live in the city. I'm a city girl now.
All right, cool. So, yeah, I grew up on
I like being able to walk places.
Yeah, I grew up on a farm. My dad lived on a farm. And my mom lived in a city. Granted, the city we live in isn't huge or super crazy, but yeah, I got to visit Grand Rapids in August, but everything was shut down. So unfortunately, I didn't get to live the Michigan life a little bit. But hopefully someday I get to. I look forward to checking it out. They have there's a brewery called Creston that I really want to go to. I've had their beer.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
but I've never been there.
Michigan's cool. I like Lansing, the state capital.
Yeah.
And because it's like the right size, so it's not huge like Detroit or Grand Rapids, but it's still like a kind of metropolis. So
yeah,
I love talking to like country kids who are coming into the city to start taking classes, and how they're just amazed by the traffic and how they're just so scared little ones. They're just so tiny and scared. I'm like, you'll get this in like a week. It'll be old hat in about a week.
They talk with a country accent, even though they're from Michigan.
Yeah.
You got all these
like,
fancy
there's no cows
things
to avoid. You're not gonna get hit deer in the city. You'll be fine. You'll figure out the streets.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Michigan State. Are you a Lions fan then?
I'm not a sportsy person.
Not a sportsy person? No, you don't like the
I'm
sports?
not a sportsy person. I know sports exists.
Yeah.
I know Michigan is called something like a Big Ten.
The Big Ten, yeah, in college football. Yep.
Yeah, like and sometimes there's an Ohio game that's a real big deal.
Mm-hmm. Ohio's very good. Ohio State.
Yeah. I'm not a big sports person.
That's all right. What do you do outside of enrolling kids in school and drinking and giving advice?
Right now, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm trying to get myself to read, play Animal Crossing right now, I guess. I'll take classes.
Is that fun?
I'm always taking classes.
Animal Crossing? I've heard a lot about it.
It's addictive. I'm a little obsessive that I had to loan out my game to a friend. She had to take it out of my house.
That was a big mistake.
Because I have a test coming up in my class.
Oh, okay.
And I was like only doing that.
So you're in school right now then too? Are you in school right now too?
I'm always taking classes.
Oh,
I have a couple of degrees because I'm fancy.
You're superhuman.
Yeah. So it's just a certificate for business, for the master's business program.
Well, that's cool.
I'm gonna put her in charge of all the business stuff for the podcast now.
That's a hard side of podcasting.
Yeah, I've only done negotiation and I'm doing org behavior right now, so I haven't really done any finance.
Yeah, I don't think any of those really apply to what we do.
It's hard. I mean, I try to do interviews with people from time to time, and I've been lucky enough to get a couple of people that have done some pretty cool stuff. And one time I emailed the comedian's manager, and that was just so weird. And he agreed to do it, which was pretty cool. Drew Lynch, I don't know if you've ever heard him. He was on America's Got Talent. He's got a stutter.
Oh yes, I do know.
yeah.
Yes, he was great.
Yeah.
You're like, he's got the stutter. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That was. I just remember that was so funny with the talking about the GPS.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I remember.
That's what he
from that
did.
bit. It was so funny.
Yeah. He's gotten a lot better, but it's weird, and I wish I could figure out more business type stuff in the podcasting world, because I would like maybe one day to do this more professionally. I just don't know how the hell to do it. And I don't know that people give a shit about what I have to say. So
You've made so many episodes though. You've been doing it for a while. So
3 years.
You do one a week? Is that what you do? One a week?
Try to do one a week. Sometimes I'll record a couple in a week, so then we can take some time off, and we just schedule it for once a week.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of times where we'll take a week off just because of my shitty scheduling conflicts. And but yeah, I think we're in like the 160s right now for episodes, and Rob's been along since I think episode 50 probably.
Oh, okay.
Or so he's been, initially it started with my friend Josh. He was on
your website still says Josh.
What does it?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit.
I think in the about page it says like you and Josh.
Oh really? I better change that.
I think so. I was like looking at it today because I was putting your info in our liner notes.
Yeah.
And I was like looking for like a quick like sound bite to explain who you were. And I think so.
I talked to a guy named Josh in the episode that came out on Monday. So maybe. But I'll have to look. I'll have to fix that. Thank you for pointing that out. See, I'm not very business savvy in updating my own stuff.
No, you're fine. I notice things like that because
she's a graphic designer.
I went to an interview once and pointed out issues on the restaurants, because I'm a graphic designer, but I worked in the restaurant industry, and I went to a restaurant interview and pointed out problems on their website, and I definitely did not get that job. I will say, I pointed out the fact that they had been hacked and there were Viagra ads in the middle of their copy.
There you go.
Like, wouldn't you appreciate hearing that?
Yeah. Maybe they wanted those there.
What's an agro-ag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to turn the thermometer off, so now I can hear.
I wondered who was backing up.
No, it's the thermometer that was telling me it reached temp. I'll be right back again.
The smoker. It's back at it.
Mute it. So I think my husband just got home and the dogs will bark.
I've got a little bit of a COVID story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I work from home now
in
my little office. I live off a major thoroughfare, off a major street, and every week there's a car accident, which I can hear from my office.
Oh wow!
So like be sitting in my office and I hear that crunch of metal,
and
then I go out to make sure everybody's alive, and then so does all my neighbors. So we all like converge and talk to each other. Like we've got like a neighborhood association going around every car accident that happens.
When you get really
last
lonely,
week
I hope there's a car accident today.
Last week somebody ran into a stop sign, and then this week somebody ran into somebody's yard.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's because people are trying to cross this major thoroughfare. There's no light, and so they get hit.
Maybe they should just put a light in there.
Frogger. Maybe
Yeah.
they think it's Frogger and they stop in them. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I actually we had COVID in my house, and it was thankfully it wasn't too intense for us. It was pretty mild, but I've been working predominantly this whole time, except for those 2 weeks where I did have it, and I gotta tell you, it was super boring. Especially with 2 kids.
So even though you were working from home, they didn't make you work?
I wasn't working from home. I was working.
Oh, at that point, okay.
I still don't work from home. I've been in warehousing the last few years, so it's not really something. Unfortunately, in my position, I couldn't do. Managing the people and all the shit that comes in. So, I work. Still we wear masks all the time and everything, but unfortunately, it's getting pretty bad where I'm
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
around where I'm at. So I mean, like I said, I already have it, or had it, I should say. Maybe the antibodies are starting to go away because it's been 3 months. So now I really got to be on the defensive. And anytime I see somebody with showing their ugly face without a mask, I walk away from them.
Yeah, I mean, there was the most recently the first official reinfection, and they said the second time that he got it was worse than the first time.
Well, that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want
In
to.
the U.S., there's 5 official confirmed through worldwide, but there's the first one in the U.S.
Well, the CDC just said that small home gatherings is what is driving this current resurgence we're seeing, which is happening around the world. Thanks, right. And then they literally said, so if you can't do Thanksgiving outdoors, you shouldn't do it at all. And I am devastated. I'm going to tell my friend was going to have it, and I'm like, they're having a small one. It's only going to be like 10 to 12 people, but I'm also like, so they can fit that in their backyard. But last year when I did Thanksgiving, I had 25 people in my tiny house. And we've since moved and we have a giant backyard. So I'm like, I guess we could do it here in my backyard if we need to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's crazy in Wisconsin. Like I said, it's pretty bad. We can still do stuff outside. I do see my friends from time to time, but we could try to keep it pretty limited to the people that we see, and we kind of know where they have been and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, even just doing that, when most of my social time is at my job, where I'm one of the younger people in the area, and I don't necessarily agree or relate with the people that I work with and what they have to say. It's just like, oh, I'm just the guy that goes, nods his head, and then walks away, because it's like, it's not a conversation I want to be a part of. I'm gonna go drive a forklift. See you later. It's unfortunate. Hopefully all this stuff clears up soon, because again, I want to go to more breweries. I want to go do fun things and all that, but thankfully I have people like you that agree to talk to me from time to time on a digital format, so I appreciate that a lot.
I'm desperate to see anyone. I'm just so like, look, there's somebody here. Hi, how you doing? Anyway.
And I feel like I super jumped on the Zoom bandwagon at the beginning, and I was like organizing happy hours with everyone. I was like, this is friends happy hour. Cousins that I haven't talked to in ages. Let's do a happy hour. Best friends from high school, happy hour. And then they're like, let's do another one. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, so like, I'm
too happy.
I'm
too happy. Too many hours of happiness.
Zoom. Like, it's just not the same, So
right.
I'm just like, I'm even more exhausted.
We did one night where we played is it categories, where you get a letter and then you write a bunch of things. We did that on like Google Hangouts with a handful of people, and it went okay. It was kind of glitchy from time to time, but yeah. And then I did a digital poker night with some friends. We all downloaded the same app, and then we did one on Zoom, and we're talking and playing on that. So that was, I mean, there's things you can do, but yeah, it's definitely not the same, unfortunately.
We did a digital birthday party for one of my friends at the beginning, who actually, her boyfriend did have COVID, and so they were super careful. He was fine, and he had a very, very mild case of it. Because I've had other friends that are like, it took them months to they were like, I'm an avid runner and I can barely breathe anymore. So, but this one was a super mild case, and so he ended up hosting this for his girlfriend, but it was this way. And we ended up playing, Heads Up on the phone, where you put it up and then everyone's, and so this person would close their eyes and do it. But then we we all had Cards Against Humanity cards, which we started doing with that. And my favorite one was the girl held it up and they're like, oh, she's never gonna get it. And we were giving ourselves 20 seconds or maybe 30 tops. And it was opposable thumb. And she got it in 5 because I was so good at it.
There you go. Nailed it. Yeah. There's creative ways you can do it, but hopefully this time next year, we're not doing the same shit.
No, hopefully the vaccine happens. I don't know. Did Fauci just say that November or December?
Is that what he says?
That's what he said. According to this person I follow on Facebook, that is a professor and sums up the Daily News. So I have not verified it. I'm getting this straight from this Facebook post, so it could be very wrong.
That's what a lot of people do, though. I mean, Facebook is it can be considered a news source of
You're
types.
part of the problem, Kimberly.
I know.
Jeez.
But I will say, like, it's a very informative summation. She does it every single day and is like, the best yesterday was like, they're talking about this with Trump, but really the news that you should be paying attention to is coronavirus is coming back, and like all the media is focused on this other thing, but this is the important thing right now. But she also doesn't like Trump, and sorry, not to bring politics in, but there's a lot of like she won't shy away from that either.
Yeah, that's everywhere. I mean, it's that's just how people operate these days, and I mean, I'll be honest, I don't like Trump either. So
I love Trump. I
fuck off.
I don't
I'm
know
never
what you guys.
speaking to you again. Like,
and that's okay if you do.
Porthos loves Trump. My dog loves Trump. Miles Davis loves Trump.
My neighbor
Everybody
has
in
a
this
pro-Trump
household,
sign.
It's a Trump.
The people that
I'm
live
kidding,
across
of
the
course, audience.
The people that live across the street from my parents had a pro-Trump sign in their yard, and I asked my mom if I was allowed to take it and burn it, and she said no because she didn't want me to get arrested and go to jail.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll do it in the middle of the night and no one will fucking know.
Bandit. The sign Bandit. It's, I let people think what they want to think. I actually base my vote off of how many yard signs I count.
Oh,
So,
yeah. That's a good method. I like it.
It's like the Monday before Election Day. I go, okay, we're going down these city blocks, and let's start counting, and then we see, and then that's who I make my vote on. So,
which is why I have 6 of the same yard sign in my yard.
Smart.
Yeah.
My yard sign says to vote for Bigfoot. So, but Jen and Kim, thanks so much for coming on the show. And a thing that we like to do at the end of every episode, we talk about the beers again, and we say whether we are going to drink it or dump it. It's very rare that Rob and I dump beers, but it has happened. We've had some disgusting ones, and we don't shy away. We don't try to, we like breweries, but if they make something that's not good, we let them know. So
okay.
I want you to let your breweries know if it's good stuff or bad stuff.
Okay, you go, Kim.
Okay, perfect. I have the Neapolitan Milk Stout from Saugatuck Brewing, and I will keep it. As I said earlier, it's one of my favorites. I'm super pumped to see it out here in Colorado, and in fact, I opened a second one. So
nice. You about to give some advice in a little bit?
What was that?
No.
Are you about to give some advice in a little bit? Opening up that second one.
Not paid.
Yeah.
I am drinking Marzen Attacks from Arcadia, and I definitely won't dump it. It's kind of tasty.
Yeah.
And I have a whole growler to finish, so I got you can't let those sit overnight. You gotta drink it.
Good night.
Yeah, drink those within a week. Isn't it within a week? Otherwise they go bad or go flat.
Like a couple of days. It's real quick.
Yeah.
Especially once you open it. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Best of luck to you.
If I must.
Yeah.
Yes, if I must.
You're obligated. Yeah, I drink Toppling Goliath morning latte, which is really good. I really enjoyed the Imperial Coffee Milk Stout. It was good stuff. If you can ever find, you might be able to find Toppling Goliath in Michigan. And if you can, I definitely recommend it. Same thing in probably not in Colorado, but maybe. I don't know.
Take a look.
It's really good stuff. Pseudo Sue or King Sue, those are kind of their staples. They're IPAs if you like those. But yeah, it's really good stuff. But
I'm not an IPA person.
Oh well, this will be the last time that we talk. But
Never again.
But tell everyone where they can listen to your show, where they can find you, and all that stuff.
Cool. So we are Inebriated Input, and you can find us at inebriatedinput.com and basically every place you can find your podcast. And then we are also on Facebook and Twitter and on Instagram, and we have the same name for that, and I can't remember what it is, so I'm trying to buy time as I pull one of them up so I can double check it, because at one point in time one of them had an underscore in the middle, I hated that one was different, so I changed them to all be the same, and now I can't remember what's what.
Ours are a little different too on our stuff too, so we have the same problem.
So, yeah, I was just really annoyed. I was sending out to people. I'm like, you can find us here and here and here, and then one was different. But so you can find us on all 3 of those social media at inebriatedinput.com. It's all one word now.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and hopefully we can talk again in the future. And if you ever need more shitty advice from myself, I'm always available to provide
Perfect.
it. So.
I love the shitty advice.
Yeah.
We love guest advice. We love getting that other perspective.
We do. It's fun.
Yeah.
We really do enjoy having guests.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.